What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes, put it in their face. If you don't put it in their face, they may not know it exists. Also, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop first. If you want to skip the line, you can jump into the super chat. I am going to go in on the story. Then I'm going to come back and check the chat, starting with the super chat, and then I'll work my way over to the regular chat. We got a doozy for you today. This is a story that's been piling up over the last 5 months. Now, I know we're just getting word of this thing after we got a notification a couple of months ago. But as far as Africans being discriminated against in China, like just boldly discriminated against, it actually started happening about 5 months ago. I got some new information about this. There were students who were attending college there, who had already paid for their courses. They were put out as early as 5 months ago. Just thrown out into the street after they came there, did their part. They did their part. They came, paid, was law-abiding. I would say, what do you call them? What I'm trying to say. Damn, what's the word? When people visit, they're called immigrants. Well, I guess he wasn't really an immigrant because he didn't come out of state. But anyway, they were law-abiding, okay? And they did everything that they were supposed to do. But students reported that they were kicked out of the university, kicked out of their apartments, nowhere to go, and basically just treated like animals, just thrown out into the streets, left to their own devices, and they were supposed to quarantine from that. So my question in all of this is but first, okay, let me finish laying this thing out. So I know you guys saw some of the attacks that were going on against Asians in the US, where Asian people were sometimes attacked by Black people in the US on trains because they were afraid that the Asians was going to give them coronavirus. And I saw at least 3 videos of Black people in America who was targeting Asian people and was treating them bad because they associated them with carrying the virus. So, and there were other cases of other people, Hispanics and whites and the likes, just going after Asian people, just clowning them in America. So here comes the big push. All these people starts talking about protecting Asians and that we're all in this together and we need to support each other. People wouldn't go to the Asian restaurants because they were afraid of catching coronavirus. And there was a big push for people to support Asian businesses. Celebrities came out in droves. Cardi B was one of the most outspoken celebrities about supporting Asian businesses and not attacking Asians, and we're all being in this together, this kumbaya, all of that. She was one of the biggest advocates. The Attorney General Letitia James, a Black woman, even went as far as putting together a hotline. Within weeks, she had a hotline for Asian people to call and report abuse. A number of other politicians came forward and spoke out. What I want to know is, now that the shoe is on the other foot and Asians are attacking Africans, flat out discriminating against Africans. This is systemic. This is the systemic racism. This is the government's doing. The government sending out messages telling people to not allow Africans to rent their apartments or homes or hotel rooms. They're blatantly posting signs. Businesses are posting signs on the doors, on the windows, saying, don't serve Asian customers, don't serve African or Blacks or Negroes. They even use the word. That shows you how racist China, the people in China are. They're still using the word Negro, but they're saying, don't allow them into your establishment. Stay away. And what's interesting is that this whole thing originated in China, Wuhan, China. This is where it originated from. It's a fact that there were way more Asians who had been infected by coronavirus than Blacks. If the amount of Blacks were equivalent to a grain of rice, then the amount of Asians who had the virus or who have even died from the virus would be equivalent to a whole damn what are those big drums that they come in when they're manufacturing the rice? I mean, it's not even a comparison, but yet they're going after Africans and they're making Africans to be the bad guy. Once again, there's a crisis and they got to figure out some kind of way to make the Black man the boogeyman. They got to make Black people the boogeyman. And this is the world over. Every time some bullshit go down, they always trying to make Black people the culprits. All the time. This is what they do. This is one of those plays that come out of America's propaganda racism handbook. No matter what happens, you need a scapegoat, blame somebody Black. Find somebody Black to blame. Even when they killed Malcolm X, they had to get Black scapegoats. But we know where that order came from. It's a cold game. So what I want to know is, where in the hell is Cardi B and the celebrities and the Attorney General, the politicians? Where are the Asians that were speaking out and talking about we're all in this together? We have to look out for each other. We're good people. We haven't done anything wrong. Sound familiar? We're good people. We haven't done anything wrong. And I don't know why they're treating us like this. We don't deserve to be treated like this way. Everybody deserves to be treated with respect. Where are those voices? I had never, up until a couple of weeks ago, heard Asians speak out politically against nothing. Hell, I didn't even know that they gave a damn about politics or whatever, or even social acceptance. But all of a sudden they started having voices popping up, Asian voices. Boop, boop, they just talking in the US, talking. Like, damn, I didn't know that they gave a damn about what was going on. I thought that they was self-fortified. Like, they didn't need acceptance. They didn't need to really deal with us in order to live a good life. I didn't think that they needed all of that. But here we are. They spoke out loud and proud. Where are those voices now? That tells you who they really are. See, action speaks louder than words. A person can say what they want to say. What are you doing? What are you doing? Silence is consent. You wasn't quiet when Asians was getting attacked and you was talking all of that kumbaya and let's get along and we're all in this together. Well, why are we not all in it together now? All of a sudden, Africans, Black people are being attacked. And I want you Black people in America to know that not only Africans are in China, Black people are in China. Black people from America are also stuck in China. Can't get out, living on the streets, being beaten, harassed, just straight up disrespected. Where are all of these advocates now? Where is the activism? That's what I want to know. Where are they? Man, we in this shit on our own, bro. Y'all better figure it out, man. Y'all better get it together. Next time somebody pop up with one of them damn kumbaya movements, y'all better get your ass out the way. You better get out of the way. Because if it ain't by Black, it ain't for Black. I'm telling you. You better get your ass out of the way. Because these people don't care about us. Michael Jackson said it best. Everybody's silent when Black people are being attacked. Even right now, all of the shootings, the murders of Black people in America. They just killed a 14-year-old boy in Walmart, a mentally challenged kid. All of these people are being murdered. Chinese, I haven't heard one Chinese person speak out against all of these murders. I haven't heard one Chinese person speak out against all of those murders. And we're talking about thousands of murders. They have been quiet as church mice. Why? How am I supposed to believe that you care about unity? You care about my people when I see your actions and all of your actions tells me you don't care about my people. How am I supposed to care about your people? When I see Asian people in Black communities get all the money, just rake in the money, just get the money. I'm not even talking about the abuse that go on. I'm just talking about how they just get paid, how Black people just freely just give them that money. Day after day after day, year after year after year, decade after decade, just give them that money. And they never, ever, ever put anything back. McDonald's, the car, the automotive repair place, chicken houses in the communities, and all these other communities, businesses give back to the communities that they serve. That is just good business. Asians never give back to the Black communities in which they serve. They never attend a funeral. Somebody can come in there to their store for 20 years. If that person gets killed, they're not going to go to the funeral. They're not going to try to help raise money for the burial. They're not going to bring a side dish over to the family. They're not going to send a card. They're not going to make a phone call and say, I'm sorry for your loss. They are totally tone deaf to the suffering in the Black community. Why? How does somebody's mind make them think that they deserve their money? Man, I don't get it, family. Where is the love for the Black man, the Black woman, the Black child? Not just outside of the Black community, but where is it within the Black community? Because there were Black people running their mouths and going and taking pictures in front of the Chinese restaurants and all inside of the business. And we got to supporting Chinese, supporting. Support. That's what they're doing, support. They wouldn't do this for Black, they wouldn't do that for Black businesses. But they're doing it for these Asian communities, these Asian businesses. We're on our own out here, family. If we use that same damn energy with our own, we'd be unstoppable. We took that money that we spend on these Asian businesses and just started going around. Even if they try to start doing deep discounts and all that shit, we just be like, you know what? Nah, I don't care. I'd rather spend double. I don't care. We're gonna run you out of business. If they started doing that, the whole thing is shift. It'll shift overnight. It'll be like, bam, like be more empowered. That's the way we're gonna be able to get respect. Economic, group economics, economic empowerment, that's what it's gonna take. And it ain't gonna happen as long as you're spending money and you're financing your own oppression. Because when you give people money who hate you, who have no love for you or your children, your mama, your daddy, your loved ones, you are financing your own oppression. This is why it's taking so long to feel liberated, to get that respect, to get the police off our asses, because we're in a tug of war. So we're being reactionary about the abuse that goes on, that the police are perpetuating, and at the same time, we're dumping money into the pot that finances oppression, the oppression. See how that works? You can't have it both ways. When you stop financing this over here and start putting it into Black businesses, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. See, and that's what they are afraid of. So keep everybody distance. Keep the debates going and the arguments going. And the minute that somebody Black look like they doing it, go in and attack them. And find the other Black person that's maybe their counterpart that's on their level, and get those two to be enemies. Because as long as those two can't come together, we can control them. Get those two to war. And what you'll do is you'll get you'll fraction off things. You'll get the people that support this guy to go against this guy, and the people that support him to not support him or her. You see what I mean? Same thing they did with our leaders, and they still do. Get Malcolm and Martin to oppose each other, and then plant seeds and infiltrate and put out little stories. You know, the newspaper is good with this, the media is good with this. Post stories where you say something inflammatory about this guy, and then now this guy feels like he has to respond, and then now they're going at each other. They never had a conversation, but they're going at each other, and their people, the people that support them, are choosing sides. They're doing the same thing with the leaders today. If you notice on YouTube, there are a lot of Black activists on YouTube, and sometimes they go at each other. And when they go at each other, what does that do? It fractions their audiences. And all of these audiences, they have the same goal. They got the same objective, that is to advance the Black race, you know, to do well, you know, to take the culture to the next level. Everybody got the same objective, but it'll be like one little difference. Somebody said this and that, and then they just, and the trip part about it is that some of the leaders actually fall for it also. I never fall for it. I see what's happening. All I got to do is know that you love Black people, and it's on. I know that none of us are perfect. So from time to time, you know, even our leaders are going to do something stupid. Even our leaders are going to say something stupid, or say something or do something that we don't agree with. But does that mean you throw the baby out with the bathwater? Not for me. All I got to do is know that they love Black people, and I'm gonna ride with them. I don't expect them to be perfect. Hell, I'm not perfect. I'm riding, because we can't afford any more enemies. We got enemies all over the globe. We are truly in this shit by ourselves. All of these attacks on Black people, I covered yesterday the two students in Georgia, Carrollton, Georgia, who was so-called making Black, well, actually they called it N-words. They're gonna make N-words. They wrote notes out like eat chicken, eat watermelon, and all this type of stuff. And they had cups of water, and they was pointed on the word, the N-word, inside of a sink. So you got stuff like that. You got people approaching Black folks just because they don't like them sharing the same space that they're sharing. And so you got the barbecue incident, the incident where so many incidents where Black people are at their homes, or their apartments, and people walking up like, what you doing here? Do you live over here? All this type of stuff. Where are these incidents with, targeting the Asian community? See, these type of white people, these racist white people who target Black people, they don't target Asian people. They're doing it now, because of coronavirus, but it ain't nowhere near on the level that they target Black folks. Like, right, like they're not killing, the police is not killing Asians, right? They're not gunning them down in the US. White folks are not like looking at Asians like, what are you doing over here? What are you doing here? They're not messing with them. Why are they so preoccupied with Black people? Why do they care? Why do they care so much about what Black people? Those two students that were so-called making N-words, what happened to make them want to do that? Like, did somebody, walk up to them and say, I hate white people or something like, no. They just preoccupied with us. They're just always thinking about what the Blacks are doing. What are the Blacks doing? some of you work in office buildings, and at your company, there's a nosy white person who always want to know what the blacks are doing. They just come around, they don't care. They just want to come around and be nosy, like blacks. It even happens in the prosecutor's office. A black prosecutor going to the courtroom, and and he goes and talks to the judge, the other prosecutors. They looking. Well, why are they laughing? If a black prosecutor go talk to a black judge, why are they laughing? What are they doing? Are they conspiring? They always want to know what the blacks are up to. Why? All right, I'm going into the comments, fam. What's up, Michael? Real talk, the reason why no country has checked China on their racism is because they own too much world debt, and that's to include a lot in Africa. Makata, what's up? What's up, Makata? Ryan Jackson, big facts. Tariq Salim, what's up, Tariq Salim? Get this chat going right here. Let's see. What's up, Royalty Simpson? Rashida Nams says, because we the coldest. That's why they want to know what's going on with us all the time. Always just preoccupied with what black folks are doing. Miss Michi, most Bella, lots of blacks have been complaining about them. Yeah, like I don't wake up thinking about what white folks, like I don't wake up thinking like, how can I do something to get under white folks' skin? How can I say something to piss white folks off? I don't wake up like that. Because I already know white folks gonna give me plenty of shit to be pissed off about. I don't have to sit up and make up something. I don't have to get up and go out and do stupid shit like writing down, taking time out to write derogatory names about white folks, derogatory terms about white folks on cards or pieces of paper and talking about I'm gonna build a C word and all this stuff. That shit is beneath me and it's juvenile. I got more important shit to do. I'm not giving a damn about what a white person is doing unless a white person is doing it to me or my people. If they doing something where they getting out of line, then okay, I'm on it. But as far as just worried about what white folks are doing every day, like I'm talking about just white folks just existing, just the fact that they exist. I'm getting up and I'm preoccupied with that shit. I don't have time for that. But some of these people, they have time. They have a lot of time for it. They have so much time on their hand to just always think about black people. I mean, and look, all of the things that they said about black people apply to white people also. They said, eat chicken, white folks, eat watermelon, white folks, don't have baby daddies. I mean, don't have a daddy, white folks. What else did they say? Everything that they accuse us of, or they try to stigmatize us for, they do the same thing. It applies to them. Every single thing applies to them. You can't say one thing that don't apply to them, that they try to use as a negative stereotype against black folks. You can't think of one thing. But see, if you don't know who you are, if you're not secure with yourself, somebody can tell you anything. They could sell you a bridge and they could sell you an ocean in the ghetto. If you're not secure with yourself, if you don't know who you are. See, there's a lot of people out there just don't know who they are. So when they say things like that to them, they start to believe it. I know Black people who refuse to eat chicken simply because they don't want to be stereotyped. So basically, if these fools said, if you breathe, if you take more than 500 breaths a day in a day, you trifling. They probably try to stretch out their breaths because they care that much about what these people think about them, and because they're that slow. Look, I ain't out there trying to make no enemies. I'm not looking to make enemies, but I care about what my people think about me more than anybody else. That's just how I roll. You know, it's like charity starts at home. It starts inside your own house. I care more about what my children think about me than I care about what somebody else's children thinks about me. You dig what I'm saying? I'm single, but if I was in a relationship, I would care more about what my woman thought about me than what somebody else's woman thinks about me. Charity starts at home. So I care more about what Black people think about me than what any other race of people, any other group of people think about me. That doesn't mean that I don't care for other people. That doesn't mean that I don't want to get along. It just means that I care more about my own first. I care about what my own thinks about me first. This is why you'll never see me on no jigaboo shit. You won't see me tap dancing because they ain't got enough money to offer me to make me sell my soul and make me turn on my people. They don't have enough money. This is why it trips me out sometimes when I hear some of these suckers out here that are the trolls that are jumping to my live, or they'll jump on my YouTube or whatever, and they'll say something like, oh, Willie D is a shield for the Democratic Party. Oh, Willie D, you look like you changing. All this so stupidity, man. And then what's funny is that what's really funny is the ones who say they're gonna unsubscribe or they unfollow me or whatever. Like, I actually look forward to that type of stuff because I don't like to have that type of negative energy around. So I actually, if they tell me they're gonna unfollow me and I check that they haven't, I will make sure that I block them so they don't have to think about it anymore. Because here's the deal, when I speak on issues, you're not gonna agree with everything I say. You shouldn't. I don't want you to. I mean, how could I learn anything if I know everything? So, but every now and then I am going to say something that you guys are not going to like. And just like every now and then you guys say things that I don't like. Y'all type stuff on here sometimes I don't like. I don't block y'all as long as it's respectful. I don't be tripping. But every now and then I'm going to say something that you disagree with, that you don't like. So, but you can bet that if you go down my timelines, you're going to see activism. You're going to see me ride for the people. So that's why if a person is really about supporting somebody that's riding for the people, they're going to always try to figure out a way to get back to my channel. And because it's going to be hard to find somebody who is as consistent as I am and who is as loyal to the cause, who is as honest who is as unapologetically honest. They're out there, but they're few and far between. So I don't trip on stuff like that. I really don't. You know, I ride with who ride with me, you know, and if they don't ride with me, that's cool. Go get in the car with somebody else. Miss Michi, I see you. Y'all show Miss Michi some love. She on the moderator duties. Miss Michi, I see you. I appreciate you. Rashida Nems on moderator duties. Show us some love, fam. They keep the trolls away. I see Serena just popped in the chat. Serena said, I came late, but I think I'm catching on. Don't patronize their businesses. I bet they pretend to respect you then. There are plenty of talented Black men and women that can do nails and hair. And sell produce, sell food, you know, sell, you know, that has, that can, well, I ain't gonna say it's plenty of them that got stores or whatever, but there's stores, there are Black stores that are Black owned in the hood. And maybe instead of walking to the store, you get a ride to the store, you drive right over to the store. You know, instead of driving 1 block, you know, you drive 10 blocks. Maybe you drive 15 blocks. But you're putting the money back into your community and you're not funding your own oppression. This is what I'm talking about, family. Like, because everybody get it, but Black people, they understand this. The funny thing about it though is that they stay trying to see what we doing. Always concerned about what we got going on. What's happening with us? Oh man. Let's see, systemic racism is the worst legacy to pass down as a hatred intent. That's Rio Grande, AKA Cash Cow. I see a few people that have left comments in all caps. I don't read all caps comments, family, just because they make my head hurt. I feel like when you're writing in all caps, you're screaming at me and it's harder to read them also. I know y'all think that you're gonna stand out, but the body of the message stands out, but each word don't stand out. It's easier to read messages when they're written in standard, you know, in the standard format. KK says, I don't always agree with you, but love and respect you nonetheless. Support Black, period. Word up. I can respect that. And like I say, family, you know, I don't want nobody to agree with me all the time. Hell, I can't learn anything if somebody is always agreeing with me. Imagine having a spouse, you know, and every time you say something, that spouse agrees with every single thing that you says. Every single thing you say, the spouse agrees. Something ain't right about that relationship. You can't grow like that. Ralph Ford, I see you, appreciate you. You cannot grow if you're around people who think exactly like you. You can have things in common, and that's good. You gotta have commonalities because it won't work anyway. But, and I'm not talking about a person who just wanna challenge you just to challenge you, because you know some people like to challenge everything. I'm not talking about those type of people. But I'm talking about people who think outside of your head. Like Loretta Toombs, what's up? I see you. Absolutely. Like my daughter, right? I remember I remember about my daughter is a law student. In fact, this is her last year. This is her last semester. I remember my daughter being about maybe 11, 12, when I started seeing in her that she had the uncanny ability to see things in a different way from the way I saw it. And, you know, I'm 53 years old. Have any of you guys ever talked to like a little kid and you had your mind set on something being a certain way and you're thinking like, I know this because I'm a grown person and I've lived my life and da da da, and a kid tells you something and you'd be like, damn, that actually makes more sense than what my position made. My daughter had me doing that as early as maybe by 11, 12 years old. She would say certain things and I'd be like, damn, never really saw it that way, but and then I'll give her her propers. I'll let her know, okay, you got me on that one. You're right. I've never been too big to accept constructive criticism or the truth from anyone, no matter what the age or gender or ethnicity, association. Yeah, truth is the truth, and the truth don't care who tells it. Michelle says, yes, my 13-year-old son does that to me all the time. I thought I was alone. Now, your son is brilliant. If he does that and he's on point, he's brilliant. He got something in him that you need to make sure that you nurture and get the best out of him, because kids that think outside of the box like that can put spins on things and just see things in a different way and make it make sense. There's something special about those type of kids. Chocolate Diamond says, my 17 and 18-year-old don't even agree with anything or everything I say. And I love it because today's kids got a lot of common sense. I be testing them a lot. Yeah. Loretta Toombs says, children that think like that are very intelligent. Yep. And I would often test my kids. Who is this? D-Son Soto from the Netherlands. What's up? What's up? Netherlands in the building. Yeah, so what I would do with my kids, like, instead of like giving them the answer or a course of action to take, I would oftentimes ask them, well, what do you think? How do you think it should be handled? Because I need them to think. Well, they may tell me something that a friend did to, an infraction that a friend made against, or a transgression that a friend made against another friend, and how they witnessed it and how they thought it was messed up or whatever. And And instead of just leaving it right there, I would say, well, what do you think they need to do to resolve it? Get them thinking. Think, 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 think. Who was that? Fransantic? Okay, you know who I'm talking about. Says, our race has had it harder than any other race. Why do they hate us so much? I mean, America made it cool to hate Black folks. Let's just call it what it is. You know, America started it. When they enslaved Black people, when America, and not just America, but England, when America and England enslaved Black people, they made it cool to hate Black people. And they spreaded the propaganda. They, for centuries, demonized Black people. I remember even growing up, I used to see commercials on TV about Africa. And every time they showed a commercial, they showing flies all around these little kids talking about give money. And kids got flies on their nose and all on their chests and big bellies and all that stuff. So they scared the hell out of the whole world, got everybody thinking, ooh, I don't want to go there. Shit, no, I don't want to go there. But it's a whole other world over there. And I do think also that Africa has not done a good job at promoting its image, its worldwide image. It hasn't done a good job at promoting itself as a tourist destination, as a place for people to come, Black people to come back to and live and flourish. They have not done a good job with their PR campaign. I don't even know if they have one. So it's that, but primarily America and England's hand in demonizing Black people around the world. They're so good. They were so good at demonizing Black people around the world. They even have Black people who hate Black people. That's how good the damn campaign is. They have Black people who hate Black people because they constantly bombard you with these images, these news stories. And the news media is writing, they're the new, let me explain something to you. The media in the US is a propaganda machine, is a PR propaganda machine for the government. That's why you have to question everything. Question everything. That's what I do. Question everything. So they've done a good job, and they continue to do a good job of demonizing Black people. Every time when somebody Black kills somebody, rapes somebody, or sells drugs or whatever, and and they bust them. Oh, they the biggest. They put them on TV, and they're the biggest killer, rapist, robber, dope dealer ever. Man, the dude probably ain't sold nothing but an ounce of damn of dope a week. They're gonna make it seem like he been slanging bricks, like he a kingpin. Got to get him out of the neighborhood. They're gonna make him look bad. And what they do is when a Black person does something bad, this is what America continued to do to this day. When a Black person does something bad, they talk about him in a way that this person is a representation of all Black people. Even I remember when they had the welfare queen, the Black woman who was taking advantage of the system. And they took that one clip of this woman taking advantage of the system, and she had a bunch of kids and all that stuff. And they ran it on Facebook, ran it on YouTube, Twitter, all over social media, all over the TV. And all the comments were Black people this and Black people that. This one Black woman, black people this, is stealing from the system, and you know, they welfare, they always on welfare. Now, as you know, the truth is that there's more white people on welfare than there are black people on welfare in this country. But when you think they got it down so pat that if you're not a free thinker, if you don't have some just common sense, they'll make you think every time you hear the word welfare that they're talking about black people. That's how cold they've gotten with it. You hear welfare, you just automatically be thinking black people, welfare. But there's more white people on welfare than black people. So what they do is, when black people do something bad, when a black person does something bad, they make that black person a representation of all black people. When a white person does something bad, that white person stands on his own merit. And that's just him. And it ain't got nothing to do with the rest of the white people out there. Think about what's happening. All of these white dudes, these terrorists, it's more terrorists that are homegrown in the United States than abroad. Why do they have us fearing Middle Eastern terrorists more than we fear white terrorists in America? It's way more white terrorists in America than it is Middle Eastern descent terrorists. But you get on a plane and you see a Muslim and you freak out. You know, you see a guy with a turban on his head, or you freak out. This is how they got us controlled, got us programmed. So when one Muslim guy kills five people, it's a shakedown on the whole Muslim community. Everybody afraid of Muslims all of a sudden again. They're heightened. There's a heightened sense of fear. Everybody's afraid. And they're stopping all planes from coming in from Middle Eastern countries, and everybody's under more scrutiny when they're being searched at the airport, all of the Muslims, and you know, they're going after all the Muslims. But when a white guy goes out and executes 30 people, it's business as usual. The police don't come down on the white community. You know, the media don't come down on the white community. People are not afraid to go into the white stores and restaurants and to be stopped by the white police officers and all this. Is what black people are, but I'm talking about the others. There's no heightened sense of fear when a white person does something. It's business as usual. Also, the white person is always, well, you know, let's look at it. You know, he had to be something wrong. He couldn't have done this all by himself. I mean, you know, when a white person does something wrong, it's something bad that happened to that white person. But if a black person does something wrong, well, that motherfucker just bad. Lock him up, throw away the key, kill him. See how that works? So that's the way they operate. You got to understand how they operate. Once you understand how they operate, you don't even be tripping when you see a black person do something bad and you say, oh man, or you hear about somebody do something bad. You don't even start tripping with that. Man, I hope he's not black. I don't give a damn what color he is. If he did something bad, that's on him. His ass going to jail. He getting executed. His family got to deal with it, not mine. No, that's on him. You got there and do something bad, that's on you. It ain't on me. So I don't give a damn. I used to when I was very young, because I used to listen to my mama. My mama used to be watching TV. Well, I hope he's not black. I hope he's not black. And if he's not black, it's a big relief. If he's black, everybody like, man, I don't give a damn. I hope it ain't my people. That's about it. When I say my people, my family, friends, whoever else, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn who it is. It ain't got nothing to do with me. What that person eat don't make me shit. It has nothing to do with me. But that's how they operate. A black person kill a cop, Oh man, it's gridlock. They going in on all the Black communities worldwide. Oh, they finna pass a law overnight to be stricter on, you know, what they ain't gonna say is to target Blacks, but it's always to target Blacks. They're gonna pass a law to step up the game to protect the police and all this kind of stuff. And y'all gonna just give your rights right away because you think you being protected. And they are going to hold the whole Black community accountable for the actions of one. So when a Black person kill a cop, it's all of a sudden, everybody's like, well, you see what happened? The cop got killed by a Black person, so one cop got killed by a Black person, so it's justifiable that 1,000 cops kill 1,000 Black people over the next 12 months. That's justifiable because, you know, a Black person killed a cop and cops are afraid of Black people. They're just afraid of Black people. So, you know, they got to go home. They want to go home to their family. So I can see why he killed them, because Black people are dangerous. When statistics show more white people kill cops than Black people, way more white people kill cops. So if the cops are going to be afraid of somebody, why aren't they killing more white people? They are killing they do kill more white people than they kill Black people. But they kill Black people disproportionately. That is what the argument is. Most of the time when cops kill white people, the white person is pretty much asking for it, like pulling out the gun, you know, attacking the cop with the knife. They are actually armed. They're not just innocent or unarmed people. They actually are trying to kill the police when they get killed. But a Black person could be unarmed, or even if they are armed, they may not have a gun. They may have a stick. They can have a stick. Police come out, shoot them 95 times. They just couldn't figure out between 2 cops, 3 cops, 5 cops, 8 cops, how to disarm one Black person with a stick. They couldn't figure out how to preserve life. But I've seen them preserve life when white dudes have had guns they wouldn't fire. They figured, I've seen a white dude chase a police officer with a stick. The police officer ran. He had a gun on him and everything. He just took off running, scared, just running. White dude chasing by 15 minutes. Not one bullet fired. If y'all can't see what's going on, man, you know, like, it's something wrong with you. Samantha, great. Willie, I love you and your heart is beautiful. If you want the interview about my daughter and niece about the coronavirus they had, you can get their story. You got to tell me what that story is. Send me an email to mail@willied.com, mail@willied.com, and I'll check out the story. Okay, appreciate you. Steve Swanson, I see you, Steve. Trey Ho, when you going on Joe Rogan's podcast? He's been referencing you on a positive manner. You know, what's crazy is that I sent Joe a message on Instagram about a week ago. He had sent me a message and I didn't get it. I didn't see the message, and so it's an old message. So I finally saw the message, read the message, and I sent him a message back. So We'll hook up, you know. I like Joe. We'll hook up. Kamisha Fontana, what I'm saying, Fontana. Is that Fofana? Fofana or Fafana? I'll go with Fafana. Kamisha Fafana. That's what that has to be, Fafana. What up, Ralph Ford? Steve Swanson in the building. Mail at WillieD.com, MAIL at WillieD.com. You know, and what's a trip to, family, is that I don't understand how Africans can allow their leaders to sell out the people, to allow Chinese people in there to come in there and set up shop and discriminate against Africans in Africa. There ain't that much money in the world. Like, I can understand how a leader would go in there because, you know, you got selfish and sellout people in all groups. So if you happen to have a leader that's a sellout, the greater community should come together and oust that person. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for centuries of failure. You're destroying your culture, your country. Because you better believe once those Asian people come in there and switch it up, oh, they're gonna overtake it. They're gonna take it. They're gonna overtake Africa 1 acre at a time. Ooh, man. Prasantic, welcome to level 1. Welcome for Santis to level 1, family. Prasantic. Midwest Boxing, Dante Fortson, who is that? Dante Fortson. Well, I don't have to ask who it is. Let me just run that Google on him. Looks like it's an author, a minister or something. And another thing, family, it's important to know that this has been happening for years. This discrimination against Africans. It actually has been happening for years in China, but it has come to a head in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Businessmen have complained over unfair restrictions and unfair treatment in China for years. So, you know, most of the Africans living there, they say are nice and, you know, good locals, and they're doing business as normal for the past several years. but they've been turned away from several nations. Oh, wow, fam, I didn't know I'd been on this long. Didn't mean to hold y'all up this long. So I'm gonna get out of here, fam, but let me get over here on the super chat one more time and check everybody out. Who is it? Terry Poole. What's up, Terry? But just one more time, fam. I want to know where the hell is the Cardi B's and the celebrities and the black people and the politicians, including Letitia James, the Attorney General for New York City, for New York. I want to know, where are they? Where are the Asian people that spoke out against the Asians being attacked and saying we need to all get along and that we're all in this together? Why aren't they speaking out now? I mean, they're like blatantly quiet. And you really want to ride for these people? Y'all really want to cape for them? When they gonna give a damn about you? Like, to me, that is the most slowpoke thing I've ever heard of. I'm not riding for nobody that don't ride for me. Loretta Toombs, Michael, Makata, Ryan Jackson, Tariq Salem, Serena Santiago, Keystone Tech, KK, Raph Ford, Loretta Toombs again, Kamisha, how did I pronounce that? Fafana, Kamisha Fafana, Franceteg, Traho, Samantha Gray. Why I keep calling Gray. Steve Swanson, Midwest Boxing, and Terry Poole. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, family. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out of this piece. Y'all remember, silence is consent. No more talk.